The attic secret. The discovery of the secret. The opulent silence of the Sterling mansion was my domain. Isabelle Dubois, 28 years old and with a life of art and antiques, had been treated to catalog Eleanor Sterling's collection. But my obsession was the sealed attic, a place of whispers and mysteries. Despite the warnings of the butler, Mr. Albright, I felt to an undeniable attraction. One night, looking for a passage to the attic, I discovered a hidden door that, instead, descended to a secret basement. Humidity and darkness enveloped it. Going down, Turner revealed an easel with a covered canvas, sketches, and old diaries. Curiosity impelled me to lift the cloth from the painting. It was a portrait, a man. His eyes, an electric blue, pierced you, soul-raking, full of melancholy and passion. It wasn't a Sterling. And then, a creak on the stairs above me. The light of another lantern lit up, and a deep, rough voice broke in. "What the devil? What do you think you're doing here?" The voice belonged to the man in the portrait, the real one. He was in the doorway, looking at me with a mixture of fury and astonishment. This man was not part of the inventory. He was the living secret of the Sterling mansion, and my presence in its sanctuary was not welcome. The fusion of two worlds. His name was Julian Thorne, and he was furious. "I asked you a question," he growled, his imposing figure filling the small basement. My excuses about work sounded hollow, revealing that Eleanor Sterling, the matriarch, was his grandmother. The mystery deepened. Julian was the sheep negra, the artist the Sterling family kept hidden. The portrait, he explained, was his, painted by Eleanor, and this basement was their shared sanctuary. Our clandestine nights became, in a ritual. I brought him coffee, and he, slowly, revealed his story. A life of art, family rejection, and a deep connection with Eleanor. He was a man of contained passion, I, of a life too orderly. Under his intense gaze, while he sketched me, I admitted my search for something real. "Real, Isabelle? Be careful what you wish for. The real often comes with pain," he warned me. "Ria." But his gaze was an invitation. Suddenly, he approached, took my face in his hands, and kissed me. It was a raw, desperate kiss that tasted of secrets and longings. Passion enveloped us. I knew more than it was dangerous, but the connection was undeniable. We talked about our lives, about his family wound, about my own dissatisfaction. It wasn't just flirting, it was destiny, a fierce current It united in the heart of a house full of ghosts. The fragile peace was broken with the arrival of Arthur Sterling, Julian's uncle and the epitome of family rigidity. He was Julian's adversary in the dispute over Eleanor's inheritance. Arthur was an astute man, and his presence announced a battle. Julian explained to me that Eleanor had left a significant part of the inheritance, including the mansion, to Julian, but with a complex clause that Arthur would try to exploit. The tension soared. The nights in the basement became more precarious, each stolen moment more precious. One night, I expressed my fear. "Julian, if Arthur discovers our affair, he will use it against you. He will say that you are unstable, that you are not fit. It could cost you everything." Julian took my hands, his blue eyes burning with determination. "I am tired of hiding, Isabelle. Tired of being ashamed of who I am, or who I love. Are you willing to fight for this? With me? My life, always safe and co." I entered an answer. "I'm willing to fight, Julian," I whispered, conviction filling my voice. "For you, for us, no matter the cost." He embraced me, a silent commitment. But the following day, however, a new obstacle appeared. A car stopped at the entrance, and Dominic Vance got out of it. My fiancé. A stable, predictable man from my world. A detail that conveniently I had omitted. My life of secrets was about to collapse. The explosion of the truth. Dominic, with his neat smile and piercing eyes, settled into the mansion, supposedly to help with, in the catalog, but in reality, to watch me. Meanwhile, the battle for the inheritance between Julian and Arthur intensified, with Arthur ruthlessly attacking Julian's reputation. My in-secret meetings with Julian became tense. He noticed my distraction, and I, consumed by guilt, could not confess the truth about Dominic. Each kiss, each touch, was stained by my secret. The explosion came during a formal dinner hosted by Arthur. With too much wine, Arthur dropped the bomb. Speaking of legacies, Isabelle, I think congratulations to you and Mr. Vance. A.C. Compromise, it seems to me. The room fell silent. All eyes turned to me, Julian's eyes fixed on mine, full of raw, agonizing pain. Isabelle? He whispered, a barely audible voice. Frozen, I couldn't look at him. Dominic, realizing this, squeezed my knee under the table, a subtle warning. Yes, Arthur. Dominic intervened softly. Isabelle and I are calm, engaged. Julian stood up abruptly. The sound of the chair scraping resonated in the room. His eyes did not leave mine. Their blue depth transformed into a sea of betrayal. Engaged? His voice was low, dangerous. Explain what, Isabelle? That you've been manipulating me? Playing with my heart while you had another man waiting? Arthur Sterling observed, with a triumphant smile. This was better than I had expected. No, Julian, it's not like that, I cried, desperate, trying to reach him. But he was already standing. You lied to me, Isabelle. You lied about everything. He turned to Arthur with a bitter irony. Congratulations, uncle. You have won. This inheritance. This house. Everything is insignificant now. Julian left the dining room furiously, leaving behind a stunned silence and the rubble of our secret romance. The passion, the drama, the love that we had built in the shadows had exploded under the harsh light of truth. I stayed to face the consequences, as consumed by guilt and knowing that I had broken the heart of the only man who had truly seen me. End.